tonight, just hours ago, Atlanta police released a statement that they are actively investigating 3 shootings involving transgender women since January. Police say an unknown woman was shot on Highland Avenue on January 9th after an argument. On April 11th, Ashley Burton was shot and killed at an apartment on Fairburn Road. And on Tuesday, Coco was gunned down on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive Southwest. Police say all 3 don't appear to be random acts of violence. Coco's is one of 6 deadly shootings Atlanta police have been investigating since just Tuesday night. You can see the locations of each of these shootings right here on your screen, all in different parts of the city. Police believe the 2 latest death investigations are linked and no suspects are under arrest in any of these cases. We'll, of course, continue to update you with new information on these investigations as we get it and as soon as it's available. Tonight at 11, we spoke to a family of a woman found shot to death just feet from her front door.
Ashley Burton's body was found in the breezeway of her building at City Park Apartments. This is right off of Fairburn Road in Atlanta. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn is live at the complex right now. Cody?
Ron, Jennifer, it's been almost 48 hours since Ashley was shot here behind me, and her killer has yet to be caught. Not long ago, her cousin told me whoever did this was close to Ashley.
Why her? Why would it be somebody who's trying to make it, who's trying to better herself, who's trying to do right by people, who's trying to help? Why?
Ivory Carter says her cousin moved to Atlanta to make a better life for herself.
She was very known for doing hair and makeup. She was a hair and makeup artist.
Any ambitions Ashley Burton had for her future were abruptly ended on April 11th.
She ran out the house hollering and screaming, beating on doors.
Ashley was running for her life.
But this got to be personal because you shot her in her house. Then you followed her outside and shot her.
Ivory says she can't imagine why anyone would want to kill her cousin.
She don't put herself in them type of environments. That's why it's like I'm clueless to how. There was always positive people.
But something very dark happened behind this crime scene tape on Wednesday. Atlanta police describing it as a domestic-related shooting. Ivory says regardless of who pulled the trigger,
I just want justice for my cousin.
She doesn't want Ashley's story to go untold.
I'm tired of all these incidents of trans women just being pushed up under the rug. We are human beings too.
Ivory says whoever took Ashley's life also took her cell phone. She's just asking anyone who knows who killed her cousin to do the right thing and come forward.
Good morning. Today is Friday, April 21st. The year is 2023. It's about 8:30 in the morning. I just did a whole 20-minute video about the subject matter with Ginger and Grayson, but it somehow did not record. So here we are, back again. Try it again. Take 2. All right, so you saw that news report. It just showed 3 transgender women were killed here in the Atlanta metropolitan area. A lot of transgender women are killed by their sexual partners or their spouses or lovers or acquaintances or people that they sometimes have these relationships with. Wow, who knows? This has been going on as far as I've been involved in the gay community since 1989, 1988. And I find it a lot of men pursue and seek out transgender women for whatever reasons. And when those relationships go awry, and they don't go as these men want them to go, this sounds kind of better. If the relationships don't go the way they want them to go, these transgender women's lives are put at risk, or they're murdered by these men who are attracted to them. And this has been going on for a long time, and there have been many transgender women killed all over the United States, around the world, by men that they have been in relationships with, or sexual encounters, or whatever. A lot of these guys pretend like when they get busted, they didn't know this person was transgender, and I don't buy that. In many instances, they know. But because they have so many issues going on inside their head about what they like, and they're fighting these issues, they're attracted to a transgender woman because she still has a penis, so they're technically gay. These men are gay, or bisexual, or whatever you want to call them. You know, everybody, you don't know the terminology. You know, okay, they niggas who attracted to another. I'll say, so they're that good enough. These niggas are attracted to these deadly niggas are attracted to these transgender women, and when these relationships, like I say, don't go the way as they have planned, they seek out these women and shoot them and assault them. I had a friend. Okay, it's really about over a decade ago. About 2009, 2010, when I first started doing personal training after the housing market collapse. I was in the LA Fitness to LA personal training. I was meeting a lot of guys. So, I went from being in construction to working around guys in the gym, doing personal training and all this good stuff. I needed income, and it was something I enjoyed doing. So anyway, I was at LA Fitness. I met this guy. He was a bodybuilder. He was a bodybuilder, and he was doing. He was a gym coach. I'll never forget this. He was a gym coach at a local high school here in Atlanta. So he was a coach of a high school, and he approached me one day in LA Fitness. We started working out together, and he found out I was gay. A lot of people didn't know I was gay back then. I wasn't like I wasn't doing YouTube videos. I was just coming to the gym, working out, and going home. I wasn't that running around in the clubs and all this other stuff. I mean, some people who lived in Atlanta knew I was gay, but some people didn't really know. It was never a big secret. But one day he found out I was gay. And when he found this out, our conversations changed. And one day he asked me, did I know of any trans women? Any drag queens? And I was like, but I know anybody. I was like, not really. And he was asking me where any clubs where they hang out at and all this other stuff. So I began to answer his questions and suggested a few spots that I thought they would go to at that time. But I wasn't sure. I don't know where transgender women tend to hang out at. I didn't think much about the conversation. But he began attending these places, and he'd come back and give me, I found he would go to these places. Anyway, a few weeks later, I was in Atlantic Station, and I don't know where I was going, but I was with a friend of mine. And I'll never forget, we spotted him across the little center area Atlantic Station where they put the Christmas tree and the decorations. But in this particular time, I forget what was going on out there. Some type of event was going on, and we were walking through there, and I saw him, and he was with this woman. I didn't think nothing about it. It looked like a woman to me. And my friend, I never forget this, the person I was with, when he nodded, he waved at me and nodded at me. He was like, hey. And I nodded back at him. And then the person I was with, who didn't know my friend, big muscle-bound personal trainer / coach, gym coach, he looked at the woman he was with, and he told me, hey, she's trans. And so I kind of looked, but it looked just like a regular woman to me. And so I never told my friend that, that's what he's into. I just left it alone because it just wasn't that important at that time. But there are a lot of men who pursue and seek out transgender women for whatever reasons they have. I can think of a couple of reasons. One reason in particular, that penis in women's pants. As we know, transgender women are born as men, and they transition into roles as women. Many transgender women cannot afford to have that bottom operation to remove the penis. And I know this is early in the morning, and we having this conversation. Y'all probably sitting there just spitting out. Y'all talking about, what's going on over here? But I've learned something though. The guy that began dating these transgender women, we continued to work out together, and I just kind of never really asked any questions because we were friends. a lot of questions on my mind. But I just left it alone. We worked out, and he would go. He occasionally would tell me information about some of the that he just loved transgender women. And I was like, okay. And he started going to a club where they performed. I think it was what was the name of that club? It was a club on Buford Highway, and he used to have these drag shows. And he started, it was on Monday nights. And he would go over, sometimes he asked me to go, but I wasn't really. And I think one time I went, I can't remember, but I can't try this so many years ago. But anyway, he got into a situation with one of those transgender women where he assaulted her. And he was arrested and charged with domestic violence and some other stuff. And this became a kind of an embarrassing situation for him, because this was now known that he had beat up this transgender woman, and she filed charges and a restraining order and some other things against him. And eventually, this thing, a rumor got around at the gym what he was into. I don't know how people were finding this stuff out. Maybe because he was arrested, and as he went to the court system, maybe there were people who in the court system or in the jail who, kind of looked at the situation and maybe knew the person. Atlanta ain't so big. So this was kind of embarrassing to him. And then eventually he ended up leaving the state of Georgia and moving someplace way out west. But this was not the first guy I met who had an interest in transgender women. But my first experience with transgender, finding out that black men in particularly love these transgender women, when I was serving time in prison in the early 90s, 1990. At the particular prison camp I was at, called Macon CI, this was decades ago, 1990, I was about 19, 20 years of age. I was in a maximum security prison. But anyway, at that particular prison camp, they had some transgender women in there in the general population, maximum security, and these particular women had breasts, and they looked just like women. They had surgery to their faces, and some of them were in there for serving some serious crime like murder, assault, armed robbery, just a whole bunch of shit. This is max security. My ass was in there for forgery, and shouldn't even been in this particular prison camp, but here I was. So one day I became acquaintances with one of the transgender women who was there, and I almost said that child's name, because I've seen her on the streets since. I've seen her here in Atlanta. Almost said her name, I can't think of her name. Anyway, she was there at that camp, and the guys were pursuing her. So one day she came in and said, hey, this particular guy that she had an interest in was getting out, and he was leaving the next day or so. So she was like, I need you to watch out for us. So they were going into at this particular camp, they had a gym, gym weights, basketball court, baseball field, a track that everybody would exercise on. One little side note, at this particular camp that I was at, there were a lot of men in there for domestic violence. I'll never forget this. Very attractive guys. Murder, assault, kidnapping, rape of the women that they had been in relationships with. And this camp was known for treatment of these types of issues at this camp. So they had a lot of guys in there. And I found this out from the guards, because they were warning me, like, there's a lot of domestic violence here, and be careful. These guys have killed these women, killed their wives, girlfriends, and all this stuff. I'm young. I don't know no better. I don't know anything about any of this shit. Okay, back to the story. She came to me and she said, I need you to watch out for us. Be on the lookout. So I literally was, if somebody came, I was supposed to knock on the door, let them know somebody's coming. So I was sitting on a little bench next to the locker room, next to the men's restroom, and they in there. Big bathroom, stalls, urinals, imagine a big bathroom. I don't know how they have that set up down, because, in this day and age, there's a lot of violence in these prison systems. I can imagine they probably have changed that whole setup now, because it's just too dangerous. It's just a regular bathroom. You can go in there and use the bathroom, and there were no guards around. The guards were in the towers. You're in the prison, there are guards walking around, but not like that. So back then, I don't know what's going on now. I wouldn't even want to be there now. Like, ooh, Lord, I can imagine it. But anyway, in this particular day, As I'm sitting there on the lookout, they're in there for a little while, and they're in the bathroom. I don't hear anything. I'm sitting outside, there's guys playing basketball, nobody, people running around. There's radio playing, people have a little, music playing. As they acted for a while, I decided to go in there just to make sure everything's okay. So I walk in there, I don't see him, I walk down, and I'm there in the stall, and I kind of open up the stall. I looked in there, and she had him bent over the toilet, and she was fucking him. Now, I ain't never seen nothing like this before, because the role reversals had changed. I'm thinking it was going to be him screwing her, but it was her screwing him. This is what I saw with my own two eyeballs. And it was I was traumatized by the experience, I must admit, y'all. Because I had never seen nothing like this before, live and in person. So I quickly closed the stall, went back outside, and was sitting out there on that bench like this. What did I just see? Huh? So, anyway, I'm sitting out there. Y'all, I was not ready for that. I don't even think I'm still ready for that to this day. That's when I learned that a lot of these guys who pursued these transgender women for sex were in role reversal positions, where they were allowing these transgender women to penetrate them, fuck them, whatever you want to call it, top. I didn't know. I know now. So it may not be the case in all instances of transgender transgender women or men who pursue transgender women, but I believe in 90% of those cases that is probably what's going on. Y'all, a lot of stuff happens in people's bedrooms that we don't know unless you're in that bedroom. People say all kinds of stuff. But I learned something about that day, and from my experiences with these the few people I know who pursue trans. And there's another issue. These transgender relationships always end in violence. Always. These men who pursue these transgender women should be mentally unstable. That's just my thoughts. They don't want anybody to know what they're into sexually. They really don't want nobody. They want a trans woman who looks unclockable. And if you saw that news report you just watched, those two women they look just like women, right? They did. The two women that were killed. There was three of them killed in this show, the first one. But the other two, Coco and the other one, they did show. And they look just like women. Beautiful women. So I always known that these transgender women need to be very careful when dealing with these deadly niggas, because these niggas will kill them. No different than black women being killed every 5 hours. I know one time I said every 5 minutes, but that's not. It's either every 5 or 6 hours a black woman is killed by their husband, partner, boyfriend. These deadly niggas don't play. They deadly for a reason. So anyway, I thought that was just an interesting situation there to watch. Just when I was watching that, and I don't really know what to make of that. Why these men pursue these transgender women, and then when things don't go the way they want, they kill them. They seek them out and murder them. And it's happened all around the world, y'all. But these, on another side note, here in Atlanta, I can think of it in the past few years, couple years, of at least maybe 5 to 10 instances where black gay men have been shot and killed by their sexual partner or husband or lover. Here in Atlanta, one just happened just a few weeks ago. A man shot and killed his husband. And he was arrested. No one understands why people who initiate these domestic violence situations grab up a gun or a knife or a car and kill the person they're supposed to be in love with. But I do know over the years a lot of transgender women have been killed by the people that they were actually in a sexual relationship with. These men who date transgender men tend to be very violent, very controlling, very aggressive. Why? I don't know the answer to that. Maybe they're hiding. Maybe this is their way of... And a lot of people try to blame these transgender women and say, well, they really didn't disclose their true identity. I don't buy that. Nah. These men purposely seek out these transgender women. They purposely seek them out. So they know what they're getting into. They know. They do know. They know. But as soon as those relationships start to go south, are not the way they want, that's when things, all hell breaks loose. And these niggas are really willing to spend the rest of their lives in prison. I ain't about to kill nobody. It costs my damn mind. It's not me. I like my freedom. I like sitting on this porch, just the birds chirp, the sun shine on my face, and I ain't got no fence around me with razor wire attached to it, and I can't leave when I want to leave. Fuck that shit. These deadly niggas, they don't give a fuck. They just don't care. But anyway, I just wanted to share that, get you all thoughts and opinions, what you think about all these transgender women being murdered by their sexual partners and acquaintances. And y'all, these men know, they do know what they're getting involved in. They know it. They know. But anyway, today is Friday. It's April 21st, the year is 2023. Bravely, this recording sticks this time. I'm out of here, and you all enjoy this beautiful Friday, and I'll enjoy the rest of this beautiful Friday.